What's up, everyone? We're back again with some more Gundam Evolution gameplay, taking a first look at Gundam Heavyarms here, our newest mobile suit. And I've got quite a few games under my belt now with Heavyarms. I was playing them a lot the other day. And first impressions kind of matched up with what I've been seeing from a lot of people online, where I thought Heavyarms felt a little on the weaker side, maybe in need of a buff, but after playing them a bit more, I already feel myself coming around to them a little bit. Might still need a little bit of a buff, which I'll talk about more, but I think they're a lot stronger than first impressions kind of led me to believe. I think a lot of people thought that maybe they'd be a bit of a lower skills floor type of suit, kind of like Guntank. You know, no offense to Guntank players, I think Guntank can be played at a very high level, but it's pretty easy as Guntank to do decently well, even if you're not very good because of the auto-aim. And I don't think Heavyarms really falls into that same category. You definitely have very high potential damage output, but in order to get that damage output, it requires putting yourself in situations that can make you pretty vulnerable. So if your positioning is not good, and you've got those Gatling arms out, all four of them firing away, you're very vulnerable. You move incredibly slow, and if you move in any way other than doing one of your dashes, they have to undeploy and redeploy, which takes a ton of time. Also, I think your overheat is harder to manage than Guntank. I think Guntank's a little bit more forgiving, especially now that Guntank can kind of get away with just doing multi-target more often, which doesn't overheat quite as quickly. Yeah, one thing that's kind of unfortunate is that I know I was talking with some other people that I thought Heavyarms was going to be kind of similar to the Heavy from Team Fortress 2, in that you could kind of start your rev up of your Gatlings mid-jump while you're going around a corner, and then by the time you land, you're around the corner, everything's ready to go and firing. And you can kind of do that with the dash, because you can start your dash and start revving up while you're dashing, or start revving up and then dash and keep the Gatling guns revved up. But if you try and jump, if you're airborne at all, it cancels that animation. You gotta start over and do the whole thing again. So you can't really do any sort of vertical mobility stuff with that. I mean, obviously you can still use things like your somersault flip to get the high ground and get a good position, which is a good way to play Heavyarms. But yeah, you can't really take advantage of the cannons themselves in midair. You can still use the one-arm fire, of course, but yeah, can't get the big damage with that. And I do feel like just the single-arm double Gatling gun fire is a bit weak. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's hard to get the bullets to connect. They don't seem to have a big bloom based on the crosshair. But yeah, even right there, you can see I only landed a couple hits on that barb. I mean, he's moving a lot, but I don't know. I guess right there I was landing a decent amount of shots, but for whatever reason, it has felt a little bit hard to land the shots there. But so yeah, the Gatling guns themselves may be a little bit underwhelming. They have, like I said, they have the extreme high damage potential if you can kind of sit there and fire away, but it's kind of hard to pull it off. But I think all of Heavyarms' abilities are very strong. Somersault flip is great, really good escape tool. I think it might even be better to use that instead of your dash if like a barb's charging towards you, because that extra kind of vertical mobility does get you out of the way a little bit quicker. And one thing that's nice about it too is that if you do want to get in and get some damage with your Gatlings, you can do your dash in with that, but then since you only have one dash, you can't dash out. But having that somersault flip is kind of your retreat option is nice. So it kind of gives you like a get in and get out option as long as you save it for that. And then the missile pods are really great. They don't do a ton of damage, but they've got a good spread. I've had times where I feel like I completely missed someone and I still got some of the burn on them. And it's really nice because you can use it at the same time as when you're firing all four Gatling guns. So if you're set up and you're firing at a group of people kind of far away, you can fire off those shoulder missile pods as well, and it does a pretty good amount of damage if you get all that going at someone at once. And the G maneuver is also very strong. I had to charge for a bit here and haven't decided to use it. There's the enemy G maneuver. Got off to the side of it. I got hit by a little bit, but thankfully didn't take the main hit of that. But I would say the G maneuver, while definitely strong, is a bit weaker than I thought. It seemed like, based on the previews, that it was pretty easy to get a kill on someone directly in front of you while you'd weaken a lot of other people a little bit outside of that front cone. But from what I've seen, it's really not that consistent. On like 1,000 HP suits, there have been times where I've fired right away at them right in front of me, and they still barely survive. It does charge faster than I thought, though. That is one thing. I thought it was going to be kind of a long charge thing because it seems so powerful, but I actually get it pretty quickly, which is why I probably should be using it a bit more aggressively here. I'm kind of holding on to it a lot longer than I need to. But I'm being a little greedy, hoping to get a big group of people. But I think with how quickly it charges, and since it's a bit more unreliable than initially seemed at killing people, I think it's fine to use it against one or two mobile suits, especially if it's maybe a barb that you're really worried about taking out. Although you do have to be careful because, well, it does a lot of damage fast. If he's charging right at you, he might still get the stun off before it finishes, and then you might not get the kill. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get a good option for it here. Also, the aerial variant of it, where you kind of jump into the air and go for it, Oh, and here we go, going for the hedge full open right here. And I do a ton of damage, but like you saw, I wasn't able to finish off that Pale Rider. It may have, the Methus G maneuver on him, though, may have contributed to that, not quite finishing him off. But yeah, ton of damage. Not quite enough to get through that Hades and everything else to get the kill, but it was a lot of good damage. But like I was saying about the vertical, the aerial variant of it, you do have to have, first off, you have to have some of your sprint gauge ready to go, because it doesn't automatically make you hover. I thought it did. So the first couple times I used it, I activated midair and then I just plumbed to the ground like a brick, and that didn't work out too well. So if you want to go for like the hover shot, you do have to have your hover button held down while you're doing that. And it can be pretty strong that way. It seems like getting that aerial group shot on is pretty good, but people are wary of it. There's a lot of times where I've jumped in on a team of people, and they kind of scatter in all different directions, and I go for it, and I usually end up getting 1, maybe 2 kills. But even 1 or 2 kills is still pretty good with it, so it's not exactly a waste. And like you can see, I'm still charging pretty quickly, already up to 40%. I didn't use it that long ago, so yeah, don't be afraid to use it to get those smaller group kills. You see right here, I'm just kind of trying to hold in this room with my getting revved up when I think I'm in a good spot to fire away. It almost feels like you're a little bit like you're playing as a Methus turret, where you want to be in those sneaky spots where people aren't going to look, so you can get the most out of your damage before they turn on you and kind of blow you up. So yeah, right here I'm actually not in the best spot. I'm kind of on the open. This new Gundam does come up on me, as I was saying, and that extra 100 health on him, when his extra damage on the funnels, yeah, he did win that matchup. It was pretty close, so I almost managed to take him out. But yeah, kind of out in the open there like that, not the best spot. And then with that new Gundam Junior, they are able to get that disarm as well. Don't think I'm gonna have another one of my G maneuvers quite up and ready in time. And it is hard to push in alone as Heavyarms, because they're just gonna focus the damage on me. And there goes his G maneuver again, another hatch full open. He got 2 kills. He's been doing pretty good, getting quite a few multi-kills with it. Maybe we get another plant here? No. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it in. Just throwing out that missile pod damage, but not gonna be able to get through that opening in time. Did pretty good though. Almost got a full detonation on the second point, so the enemy team will have to do pretty well on defense to overcome that, or on offense to overcome that. Alright, so now we're going to see from a defensive perspective, and in theory, Heavyarms should be a bit better on the defense. Like I was saying, you're kind of like a turret, where you want to set up in spots where you can shoot people without them having a good angle on you in the process. This tunnel right here, though, maybe not the best. Just kind of fighting the other Heavyarms. I mean, your one thing is that you don't have any fall-off damage on your cannons, so while you're listed as a mid-range suit, you're actually pretty effective at long range as long as you can get the shots on people. So that hallway there could be pretty alright. Right there, I do manage to pick up a kill on the Pale Rider, only needing the single-arm Gatling gun. So it is pretty good for finishing people off. You know, you keep your mobility and kind of chase if they're low. And it does overheat slower, but it does actually still overheat relatively quick. It's slower, but not as slow as you might expect. Like right here, yeah, just kind of firing away at this Ranged Zakus. You're not going to be able to do enough damage to take him out, which is a single arm. But there's a low Ashmar here. Try to get on this Ranged Zakus. Get the burn on him, but fortunately, smoke does give him immunity from that. The burn does not last to that. But he is down from smoke now, so I'm going to push in on him a little bit. Might be able to get him now. Just barely gets away, but thankfully Jim manages to finish him off. And now I'm trying to set up again. I generally want to be on the high ground here, so that if they start playing the low ground, I can keep myself revved and look over the edge. If I do drop down, you know, I'm going to have to start all over again and miss out on my damage. You see right there, I started to go for the rev up with the 2 arms, but then new Gundam got knocked around the corner, and then, yeah, that's kind of one of the situations you have to deal with. People just narrowly get out, and then you can't really give chase a lot of the time. Right there, I was able to pick up some kills. Get behind this Heavyarms here, gonna shoot him in the back, and you can see, there he goes again, dash around that corner. And I guess I had my dash, I could have chased, but I was pretty low, so would have been a risky move. I think he came back in over there. He's really low. Yep, goes down. Just got to keep this new Gundam out, and I think we get the disarm. Someone's firing from above, but we've got a bit of a wall to protect. And missile pods didn't quite connect with that Methus. Probably would have got the kill there if those pods had connected, because it's probably going to do around 300-ish damage. I think max it does 400, around 400 if you hit all of the missiles and get the maximum burn. But you're usually not going to be getting the full amount like that. Yep, still staying up here on the top here. Gonna try and fire away at this Ashmar. Methus combo coming in. Missed a bit on the Ashmar. I got a good damage on the Methus, but he's still able to get away. Looks like the sniper got the finish on the Ashmar. And just staying right here. Got a little bit of that cover to my left, making it hard for him to get the hits on all of me while I peek around and fire away at them. I still got to be careful. And I'm coming in here. I got my G maneuver. Gonna try to go for it. a little bit too hesitant, got a little greedy. I think I was debating whether I should use on just the two of them. I did still help get the kill on the Pale Rider, but if I'd used it a bit quicker than that, I probably could have got the Methus as well, or at least gotten him low. And then maybe someone else could have finished before I got out. But at least I'm using it, not holding onto it too long. And getting the Pale Rider is good. He is a threat. His Hades have been a pretty big deal when we were on offense. So getting him out of the picture is still good. Coming in here, I charge forward a little bit just to grab that health pack, and then we're kind of having the Heavy Arms matchup, which it kind of just ends up who I think gets in the position to shoot at the other person first. If you get the drop on the Heavy Arms and he's not ready to fire at you, or if you're Rev first when he comes around the corner, that's kind of how those matchups usually go. Right here, just get chase as Ashmar, use my somersault as well, get a little bit of the burn on him and enough from the double Gatling to finish him off. I'm just gonna go for this repair here as well. And we're holding pretty well, and they're almost got just a minute left. There he is again. Heavy Arms slowly walking in, but like I said, I got the shots on him first, and with help from Ashmar, able to take him out. Going from plant here, got the perfect angle on him. Get enough damage to scare him off. Decided to drop down and chase his Methus a little. But then I get turned on, the Methus and a couple others shooting at me, and I can't really get away. End up walking right into that Ranged Zaku. And this might be their chance to disarm. They got me, and looks like they got Gundam as well there with a nice Ranged Zaku G maneuver. So they got numbers advantage now. This could be their chance. See if I can get back quickly enough. Not sure where I want to set up, but I hear this new Gundam behind. Decided to try and help, but there you go. Dash around the corner. I got to start over when I think just go for the double Gatling. Missed those missile pods. He almost walked into him, but and he decided the G maneuver. I don't know if he really needed this, but I guess he really wants to stay alive. I decided to come up here, and he can't chase. Thankfully for my vertical mobility, the funnels are poking me a little bit, but I'm okay. He decides, all right, I'm just going to go run away and help the point, but Ashmar comes flying over, tries to challenge me right up close. Probably not a good idea. He did lose 100 HP, and even with that extra 100, I think he still would have died there. I did overheat, though, so maybe he would have had a chance. Go ahead and flip to see if I can get back in. Coming here close. Just close skirts coming, just going for the double Gatling, not going to rev up. A little bit of burn. I get 2 kills, but I'm low, and I know New Gundam's still back here. I see him firing away at our sniper. And I'm thinking he's probably at full HP. I'm just going to hit him with the ult. But no, he had basically no health. I could have just poked him, and then I could have had as an option to take out this Ashmar, so ended up not working out. Ashmar's really low, though. He's running away. Gundam tries to chase, but he kind of gives him the sneak around and gets back, takes out Jim, and now he's got Methus here to help him out as well, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get this disarm. I'm going to try and get back in time. I don't think I'm going to get in position to go for it. We do have the gun tank ult. It gets 1 kill, but also blew up at the same time. Yeah, just the 1. Got a little bit of time here. Gun tank going for it. I try to get in front of him. The block. So much damage coming through. And I think the grenades over the top took him out. And we are going to have to defend the second point. But we held for a long time, so they're not going to have as much time to try and beat our second point score. So let's see what we can do here. I don't think they've changed up their team too much so far. And their Heavy Arms hasn't gotten as big G maneuvers as he was getting when they were on defense, I don't think, so far. But Ashmar's already sneaking in here at B. I didn't even notice him. Does go down. New Gundam in the back fighting gun tank. I decided to help a little, but I hear people going up top. I'm going to see if I can stop this plant. Throw out the missile pods. Get a lot of burn damage, but it's Ranged Zakus, so he can smoke away. But at least the smoke is down. He tries to come back in. Just going to try and focus him down. Get him. Methus is scared away. It's going to rev up and body block here to make sure we get the disarm, and we're good. And here's Heavy Arms matchup. He got some good, I think he got better missile pods on me there, so he almost would have won based on that, I think, but I did have some backup. Gonna grab the heal and go back down. Just gonna keep going back and forth. Just gonna come around these corners when all revved up. Gonna head back up top, because I heard some people moving around. Looks like they've got an Exia now. I don't know if that'll be too much of a problem for me. I'm tanky enough that he shouldn't be able to really kill me, but he is gonna be a little bit harder to hit. And here he comes. Heavy Arms, though, swinging right by. Doesn't see me. Gets some shots on his back. But they're planting again. I think at A, yep. Ranged Zaku once more. He either smoke was down or he didn't use it in time. Didn't even need my missile pods. I'm just going to go for the disarm because Eggsy's kind of preoccupied with other people. Another quick one. They've gotten a few plants already, but we're getting the quick disarms at least. So they're still at that 0%. But New Gundam gets a pick here. Can't really chase. I'm kind of in the middle of everything. I'm getting hit by Exia from somewhere, getting hit by someone else over there. New Gundam's coming back in to get his funnels on me. And yeah, that's kind of the problem with standing in the middle of a room like that as Heavy Arms. There's not really anywhere you can go to get out, but I might get repaired here. The new Gundam G maneuver coming in with Methus as well. I decided to just open up and fire everything. Can't get through that new Gundam shield. It's got too much HP, but I do kill the Methus, and New Gundam must not have noticed because he didn't go for the repair when he could have gotten it for free. Going for the disarm. Jim Mines get a kill, but Exia finishes off Jim. Might be able to get a repair as well. No, looks like no repair, so they are going to be down 2 still. No, they did get the repair. Wow, that was a little bit delayed. And then Method slides the brand enemy, but he gets around the corner before I can unload on him. I'm getting a lot of damage here. You see they're all grouped. Almost overloaded, but I held off a bit. Just trying to wall him out here. Exia's going for the charge, but he gets stuck above me. He isn't able to go for it. I come back in, and horrible timing. Right as Heavyarms using a G maneuver, but I think we've mostly cleaned up. Ranged Zakus nade barely didn't kill Ashmar there, and that is enough for us to get the disarm and the win. Really risky move to go for it at that low amount of HP, but we were down to 5 seconds, so I guess someone had to do it, and it did manage to pay off there. I think that was a really good game for me on Heavyarms. Unfortunately, I do not get the MVP. I actually haven't seen anyone get a Heavyarms MVP yet, but I think with how I'm improving with the suit, I'll get one of these days. I'm curious to hear what all of your thoughts are. I know a lot of people when saying they feel Heavyarms is a bit too weak and in need of a buff. Do you feel the same, or do you think he's too strong or perfectly balanced? I'm curious to hear what all your thoughts are. That's going to be it for me for this time. If you want to see more, you can stay tuned here on YouTube, or you can also catch me live streaming on Twitch. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.